Okay. So we go with the bucket to the very end.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Love that he says Stanley and the bucket.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Okay. What happens this time? Do we just get crushed instantly, or is there something else?
Motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
Oh,
it was
that's so
a
funny.
glorious bucket to behold.
Oh, I don't have it anymore. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of a knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. No knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourselves and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? I mean, we'll see.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
Oh my God.
Can you see that the bucket is
so
far more
dumb.
noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
This is so dumb. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. That's way more than 25, by the way. That not only that, but the photographer doesn't know anything about bucket or can count. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Oh my God, dude. Dozens. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains no one can control a bucket. The stress bucket, an analogy, worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket, coping strategies, holes. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy, rest and relaxation. Oh my God. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. That's crazy, dude. It makes me want to visit a museum.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However clear our grasps of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Yes, I have to jump down into the pit. Oh, wait. Apparently not. Apparently I just float.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh my God.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I did? I guess so. Okay, let's go down back there without the bucket. And we'll try and do the
When
the mind
Stanley
control
came to a
facility.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I wonder what that means. That sometimes I can hear like outside.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What that means? What if it means something?
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Wow.
Surprise.
Quelle surprise. Oh, I love it. Even the narrator is like, yeah, we've done this before. Let's go. Let's get this moving. Let's get this done. I love it. Let's do a roulette, guys. I'm gonna hold on. Bamboos. How many bamboos do you guys have, you think? I got 1,800 bamboo. Let's do a roulette. I'm gonna do 400 on 2. This is how much we
Stanley
get.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You have 9,000 card. Oh my God. Okay, let's follow the narrator.
The
Right,
lights
so we-
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
You do have some, yeah, you have some. You get some by watching the stream, and then if you follow, you get some. If you sub, you get some. The person who has the most points at the end of the month gets a free sub.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley,
oh yeah, we know
one
this.
of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You have to swap the number, Potato. So like the first number is the one you bet on. The second is how much you want to spend. Elevator?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh my God, this is it.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What is that? Nothing. Okay. There's a door here. Oh wait, what won? 3? Carton, you won again? Oh my God, Carton won again. Are you for real? How are you so lucky? Can I climb up there? No, it's closed. Okay. So I guess I have to start the power first. Facility power. Wait, 5? Idle awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Haha. That'll teach you, Carton. That'll teach you. You guys can steal from Carton, by the way. He's got so much bamboo. Off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Another 5 seconds, Potato. You should be able to do it.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin. the feeling of liberation.
Oh,
the immense
you need
possibility
100?
of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Hold on, Potato.
Stanley
Let me give you some starter bamboo. Because I usually give out like some bamboos for first timers, and I didn't give you any, so. That was it. That was the ending. Oh my God, we made it out.
Were gone. What
And
could it
yet
mean?
we didn't.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, we're gonna bring the
cradled
bucket.
in a
We're gonna do the
gentle
same thing with the
embrace.
bucket.
Protective, yet delicate. Assertive, yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps
I think if
his
you
boss's
fail a
office
steal, you
was where
lose
coming to
100. But if you
staircase,
win a steal,
Stanley
you
and the
steal
bucket
100
walked
or
upstairs
200.
to the
I'm not sure.
boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
You did it!
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Let's also do a heist. Heists are a good way for you to get bamboo. All you have to do is type exclamation point heist. You don't lose anything if we don't succeed. But
Stanley
you
and the bucket
do
walked
win
straight
stuff if we
ahead
do
through
succeed.
the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Okay. I'll just do
The monitors
this.
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea
Literally
pigs.
dropped the bucket in
The bucket had
shock.
never seen anything like this, and it very nearly
Oh
burst
my
into
God.
tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket
Never!
tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never...
Okay. And with Carton, you join in at the last
Stanley and the
second and you
bucket
win?
waited
Oh
in
my God, I'm so
sadness.
salty.
Was it over?
Jesus Christ.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
What?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Wait.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Wait, the bucket is not allowed to leave? That's so sad.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah, exactly. Foreshadowing.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, we'll go, but we'll press on the machine instead of off.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I forgot what was down the stairs. We might have to go back down the stairs at some point. Oh, wait, I walk in, it's already there? Here's the door. Just go. Oh my god, dude, that's perfect. I walk in, the door is already opening. He's like, whatever. Just go. You're annoying me.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I'm gonna have to.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it.
Yeah,
he couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yeah, okay, so this time let's...
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Loading mind control system?
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode.
Nuclear detonator?
Complex. How long until detonation then? Let's let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your
there was a
heart's
door there.
desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Wait, so
What's
1?
that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely
Where's
in this
3?
instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Oh my God.
Though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Why?
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Yeah, that's what I assumed, yeah.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
To send power surge?
These colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will
3?
save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be
4.
beaten? 1 solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Incorrect 2?
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
That's a 1, that's a 2.
You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Goodbye, employee
Will
427.
you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment of
Oh
fading
my God.
until the moment I say, happily ever after.
The narrator is insane. He's like, the truth is I killed everyone. I'm like, oh my God. Was there a way to get out of this room?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, I need to
decided
get there
go
with
to
the
meeting
bucket.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There was also a door that opened up. You know what? I'm going to go again without the bucket, but I go through the door this time. There was a door that opened up for like a few seconds, and I didn't go through it. I want to see what happens. Oh, the layout changed again. Very
Stanley
slightly.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He
There
entered the
isn't?
door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Yeah, we'll do this.